All right, John Ross. I have questions.
Okay.
Well, okay, so here's some things I know about you. Known you for a while. And something I think that is really cool and interesting about your life is that you went to typical school, right?
Yep.
You had your classes with everyone else, which I hate when people try and segregate kids into different classrooms. It really bothers me. So I'm always very excited for that. But you also went through a lot of different phases in job hunting and utilizing different programs to help you find jobs and stuff like that. But then at the end of the day, you just used networking and connections, right? To get you where you are. Yep. So, so do you want to talk a little bit about that? Some of the different jobs you've had. So where'd you graduate from first?
I graduated from two places. I graduated from Momi High School. That is where that my bed didn't palm and anything. And then I also graduated from Penta Kileo Center.
Okay. And at Penta, what did you kind of focus on?
For 2 years I did landscaping. Doing lawn landscaping and all that stuff. Then for my final year I did paddock sales.
What was that again?
Paddock.
Okay.
Sales.
Okay. Very good.
Doing some dab tanning and all that stuff.
Okay. Okay. So once you graduated college, what were your next steps then? Because you utilize, so in our system, we have opportunities for Ohioans with disabilities. We have different day programs and stuff that, focus on what we call vocab, which is just get me a job. We have a lot of things in place to try and help support people with disabilities to get a job. And do have success, right? But for you kind of just found your own path. So what are some of the avenues that you tried, and what did you learn from them? What was your experience?
What do you want me?
Oh, okay. I know. I gave you a really long question. I did think this rambled on for quite a bit. So what did you do after graduating? What was your first step?
From
high school, yeah.
I work into. I was currently working for a candid program, which I did found. I was in the T2 program at UT.
University of Toledo. Yep. Go Rockets. That's my Rocket dance. All right, go ahead.
So I was there for 4 years. That T2 can teach you how to be a candid student and helping you to find gaps and such.
Yeah. Did you have a job that came from that?
Not really.
Do you feel like it was beneficial though?
Yes.
Some of the things that you got to do during that program and people you met?
Yes.
What were you, are we allowed to talk about were you in a secret society of some sort, sir? Are we allowed to speak about this in public?
Yes.
Okay.
Now we can. So I was in a social society. It was a psychic to keep it is psychic. So not really put to tell people but now I can.
Okay.
Because I am officially on max.
All right.
I was a part of 2 Blue. It's kind of like the same thing as Blue Q,
Okay.
but 2 Poo is a little bit different. They was some what is percent UT in the, by the way. My nickname was Tiny.
Tiny.
Which, because I'm so tall.
College students, they come up with the best nicknames. It's fun. All right. So you had a lot of like on-campus experiences and got to do a lot of fun stuff. I think you had the mask one time.
Internships and all that stuff.
Yeah. So after that, what was your experience with different? Because I feel like I've known you. How long have I known your mom? Known you like 6 years about. And so you did use kind of like, the Penna.
Yeah.
Where you did landscaping for a while. Now, initially, did you have, how did you find the job? Did someone find the job with you or for you, or did you find the job? How does that whole process work?
So after I graduated from New T, I found a dab developer who can help me find the right dab and go into all the interview passes and all that stuff. So I started that. We went into more of landscaping since I did that Penta. I got a dab from that, but then I realized I didn't like that so much because I wanted to be on the taco more. Besides being on a weed timber all day. Oh,
he's stuck weed whacking constantly. I would be very crappy about that too.
I feel like early wake ups too.
Yeah.
So I tapped that, and then you want me to keep talking about dabs?
Yeah, I'm just interested, because now you have, and I feel like I just don't want to. I want to hear your perspective because, from my perspective, I just watched you go. You went through some jobs and you recognize this isn't what I'm passionate about. I'm not passionate about weed whacking. My grandpa was. You're just no, this isn't the right fit. And I feel like so many people kind of not get stuck, but are afraid to try new things, or they'll be well, at least it's a job, and I'm just gonna stay here. But I really admire the fact that you were no thanks, this isn't for me, and you kind of just got yourself into this job that is the perfect fit for you, right?
Yeah. Well, people are told into the new job that I had right now. So I went with a inventory associates for a while. We just count out in a lot of toes, that'll which I'm no longer working for them. Because it was actually early Moody's.
Yeah.
2 between 4 o'clock wake ups. And
Oh yeah, you would wake up so early then.
and I didn't know when I'd be done for the day. So that was it. And nothing.
Yeah, and you were just were you counting inventory like at a specific place or like all over different,
Yeah.
like just different stores?
Yes.
Okay.
So then I put my 2-week notes in and all that stuff. Now I was looking into more, after I love data entry and scenes. So I was looking more into data entry, like, so I started, before I got my new job, I started a independent provider that didn't want to build the APC arrows and all that stuff. Needed hope. So that night that I come home, I did all the certification that I needed to do, and it take me a night to be certified, and then it probably took about a couple days after that for me to start pulling into the DU or DD websites.
So I think, just so like, you know, our viewers. So when you're an independent provider, you're a contracted worker for the state of Ohio. And that means that you have to do, like, you don't have someone just billing something for you unless you hire someone. So you have to go in, you have to enter all your billing. It's unpaid time, right? They don't get paid for that. They don't get any reimbursement for that. Like, it's just something they do because they're a 1099 employee and that's one of their responsibilities. So you were able to basically say, like, hey, I'm hearing you say how much you hate this and I like data entry. So in one night, you just decide you're going to go home, do all the training, get certified, and within 3 days, you're basically starting a John Ross billing agency.
Yep.
So there's no excuses I'm hearing for like messed up billing, right? No.
So then, after I do that, I was looking for a real pay job
Okay.
with my mom, Lisa Combs, who was at here earlier. She knew a co-worker of her that worked for the Ohio Board or DD. That she know his wife that owns a company that does the taste of Ohio bowling. See, it's the same bowling I've been doing for my independent Colorado. So we call Kitty. We already call Wick back, and then Kitty came on the call and said that I was just looking for a data anti-dab that I can use my head more on. Since I'm so dull with maths and such.
Yes.
So Kitty said, okay, let's set up a interview and all that such. So I did my interview and anything. And the job company is not Socials. They are a Colorado company who hopes tons of independent Colorados and agency Colorados. So they accept me a payment now. So that's what I'm working right now.
That's awesome. So I should get Christy on here. I love Christy Black. She is so wonderful. In 19 Services, I've been able to work with them many different times in all of my past jobs. But yeah, they're really great people. But that's awesome. Like, I really find it so interesting. And I think it really speaks, because I'm always talking about like community and networking and getting out there. You're always really good at getting out there and meeting people. Doesn't hurt to have your mom know a million people too, but you probably know just as many as her, right? And I think that that's such an important component that people forget about, job. Like Ohio is like an employment first state, which is great because employment's important, right? But I think sometimes we lose sight of the fact that, like, hey, if you know people and you have a good community around you, can do things, and it doesn't hurt to be good at math. I am bad at math. I'm not sure how I've survived this long. I literally have to Google. Like, I will Google the whole question. Like the other day, I was like, "What's 20% of 48?" And that's what I Googled. I didn't even try and use a calculator. I know. It's bad. It's bad. I'm just gonna text John Ross from now on. Tell me what this is or how to get it. Okay, so professional, sir. We've gotten the profession out of the side, and I am very grateful that you shared your job experience and education experience, because I think that people just get stuck in a rut of like, this is the way to go. You have to do this. You have to do that. And you're just like, no, like I figured out what I was good at and what worked for me, which is what we all do, right? Something else you are exceptional at, sir, is Lego building. And I'm not saying little like Lego, like you have what is the biggest Lego, what's a piece? Is it a Lego piece? A Lego model? Maybe I am not a Lego person. What's the most pieces you've completed?
It's probably at least 10,000 pieces.
10,000? Now, was that the last one? Because you've done the Titanic?
Yep. That was 9,000.
That was 9,000? Okay, so you just completed, which as a Star Wars nerd, I am obsessed with, the Millennium Falcon.
I'm not sure I understand.
My watch did not understand that.
It's probably around like London Town is
11,000?
Is the most that I did.
Have you ever had pieces missing?
Yes.
So what do you do?
So
I need to know the process for this.
So I realized in my jalapeno, no, not my jalapeno, my Home Alone house.
Oh, the Home Alone house, yes. Yes, okay.
That I had loose pieces for. And I was getting important because I wanted to do done and now I can't. So the process is that you have to go on the other websites to say I'm making a piece and go into the process and all that stuff. And then they had to go into those system and can say, hey, why aren't you making a piece? You should not be making a piece. There have been a couple times where they cancel my minting pizza order because the system said I still had the pizza, which I didn't have the pizza. So they finally got killed to give me more pieces of the Home Alone pizza. But the only bad thing about it is that it does not come 1 or 3 days. Comes like 5-10 days after when you do it.
And you're like, and that's not something, because I always try and do this because I'm terrible at following directions. I'll like try and do the bags, because they come in bags, right? And I'll try and do the bags out of order. And I'll be like, well, if I can't work on this, I'll just work on this piece. But that doesn't work, I have learned in my experience. So that just like holds up your whole process.
So all these little products that you do, they always give you a book, a instruction book, the passage to bold it and anything. And it always give you with bad to open sounds. So you have to open bad number 1 to talk, and then you go up.
Yes.
I had ones that goes up into the 40s or 50s.
That's overwhelming to me right now.
Especially for the Tananic. Tananic was the one that went up more into the 40s and 50s. That's just because no was 9 pieces.
Yes, yes.
So how many bars is depends on how many pieces you had. Like how many pieces is the level sets.
Yeah. So where do you have like a Lego exhibit room? Like what?
So
do you ever give them away?
So it's hardly all. It's can't span around my house right now. And bookshelves downstairs. Like the Titanic is in a family room and in bookshelves, and I do have some stuffs that I didn't know because my mom was kidding. We need to find some more outs to hold all these. So we went to IKEA and did more stuffs, and wait, now I only had one stuffs up, which I need to do 2 of them up so I can put more
stuff on it.
More on it. I have my Harry Potter Hogwarts, and one of the shelves upstairs. It didn't really fit, so I was had to separate it. But it really fine because that's the only way that I can fit it out now to separate it. The Titanic, I don't really want to separate it because
that seems
it's too old.
You would just be more realistic. That's terrible. Who lets me talk?
So usually the ladders take me a couple weeks or a month to do. Especially all the allow pieces that I've been doing, and me personally, I always like the bigger ones that has more pieces, just so you can bold more and you want them done quicker. Cause they do have ones that has 400 pieces, 500 pieces, really low. But I want to add more. So
I like that challenge. So something I'm getting, something that I think is so funny is not funny, but I just think it's cool. Like, just kind of like, you like the data entry, you like a challenge, you like clear direction, and like I'm just like the total like, let's Let's just fly by our seat of the pants. And I do terrible at all those things because it requires discipline. And you are much more disciplined than I am, sir. Which we already do. So like when you actually like go to like house hunt, you're going to have to like get like a 5-bedroom house for all your Lego sets. You might have to work some overtime. Tell Christy. She needed that overtime. I gotta support my Lego habit. Oh, well, that's awesome. Thank you for talking to me. Is there anything else you want to chat about? Or?
No, let me tell you my 2 little products that I did order.
Okay.
Yesterday night. The first one of that is jalapeno Howard's Tane, which I did do it already, but the one that I did was a smaller one that had lap pieces. This one had more pieces, and it's a bottle Tane. It has a tack. It has a little tack with it, which I think is cool.
Yeah.
And then I got the Fofari Daytona.
Ooh.
It's a call. It's a call. So those probably had one probably had about around like 5 ton in to like on 5 ton pieces.
I'm thinking of stepping on them because my kids are so young that I step on all the Legos, but I'm sure that you do not scatter them all about. I'm sure you are disciplined and
5 ton
structured in it.
Probably between 10 ton pieces, but
oh my gosh. All right, well, we will have to get an update, and we'll have to pull the Falcon photo off of Facebook to put on this podcast because it is my favorite thing. And I'm just pretending that I'm disciplined enough to do something like that, which we know I'm not. So I will just live vicariously through you. Awesome. Well, thanks, dude.
Yep.
I appreciate it.
No problem.